This work comes from my willingness to analyze the urgent environmental issue, one of the most serious and important problems. In this study, the keystone will be the figure of Leonardo DiCaprio and his commitment to the environment in order to help our Earth. I have decided to focus on this theme because I think that currently there is nothing more important than caring for the future of our country, of our health, and of our children. Mediation, meant as a message, is not so simple. That's why it takes a so influential and well-known person to bring everywhere the intentions of an important cause. Leonardo is an American actor, film producer, and activist. DiCaprio himself has declared to have been always interested in environmental problems. As a child, he was fascinated by documentary films about nature, especially those dealing with the Amazon rainforest. Despite he was very young, all these problems deeply affected him. Therefore, now his priorities as an adult became his job and social activism. According to Time magazine, Leonardo DiCaprio is the most influential public character of the world on the environmental field. Over the years, the actor donated almost 60 million and has always been engaged in awareness campaigns to save the planet, especially animal species at risk of extinction. Leonardo is so influential and active on the ecological front to be nominated in 2014 as UN Messenger of Peace. The actor's nomination was announced by the Secretary General Ban Ki-moon during the 69th UN General Assembly opening press conference. The reasons that torment Leonardo the most on the environmental problem, so much that he transformed it in a personal crusade, in order to raise humanity and governments' awareness to pay more attention to the climate and environmental safeguard before reaching the point of no return that will mean the end, are the climate change and Earth's exploitation. In our world, some changes always occurred, but nowadays the main cause is humankind, who always interacts with the environment by changing it in all its activities. If, however, the mutation of the environment during history could be a marginal fact to the Earth system as a whole, since the planet was sparsely populated, we see that with a massive growth of population and industrialization in the last decades, has meant such as a great exploitation of environmental resources that the destruction of the environment and pollution gained a global dimension and proportions. The situation is so alarming to convince governments, especially those of the developed countries, to look for measures to remedy this phenomenon. In 1988, Leonardo DiCaprio established his foundation with the mission of protecting the Earth's last wild places. The LDF implements solutions that help to restore the balance of threatened ecosystems, ensuring in the long-term health and well-being of all Earth's inhabitants. Since its last establishment, the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation continues to work on some of the most urgent environmental issues of our day. The Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation is focused on the long-term health and welfare of all Earth's inhabitants. Among all these projects, in all the missions that currently the Foundation is pursuing, I want to highlight some. Replenishing coral reefs in the Pacific Ocean, restoring Brazil's Atlantic coastal forest, and cultural survival and rainforest protection. Who better than Leonardo, well-known actor and Oscar-winning, could become the spokesman of a so vital and important cause for the Earth's survival? In fact, he's the creator of the documentary Before the Flood, that presents an absorbing story of the dramatic changes now occurring around the world due to the climate change, as well as the actions that we, as individuals and as a society, can take to prevent catastrophic disruption of life on our planet. The film follows DiCaprio as he travels to 5 continents and the Arctic, speaking to scientists, world leaders, activists, and local residents to gain a deeper understanding of this complex issue and investigating concrete solutions to the most pressing environmental challenge of our time. The masterpiece documentary film Before the Flood wants to be a tribute to all those who have fought, are fighting, and will fight to ensure that the threat of the climate change and its devastating consequences is adequately fought, recognized, and shared. During the conference in Berlin in 1995, nations realized that the world was going to hell, and they decided to get a move on. States think that only signing treaties can change something. Actually, with the Arctic melting, with the animal and plant species that are going extinct, with deforestation continuing, with environmental migrants, with territories consumption that doesn't stop, the states are convinced that without changing their development model, they will manage to keep the temperature rise within 2 degrees by 2100. The fact is that the problem exists, and they have no intention to sacrifice their industries for a matter which, fortunately for them, it's not well known by all. So actually, in practice, governments did and do little. There is also belief that climate change doesn't exist, that it's an invention. Climate skeptics, those people who are questioning the existence of global warming, its human origin or its consequences, represent the 20-30% of the United States population. Skeptics are more numerous in the United States, in Australia, and in English-speaking countries because, in fact, this vast majority is linked to the oil-coal industry lobbies that have been interested in denying the link between emissions and climate change. In conclusion, talking about this problem, I didn't want to talk just about scientific data, statistics, and diverse opinions of luminaries on the topic. I wanted to talk about this topic making me drive by those who have married the cause and fight in first person to let everyone know about this huge problem of environmental disaster. We have only one Earth, our Earth, that is our life. It's like our mother, she conceived us and let us survive. Without her, we are doomed, and we need her, we have no choice. It's what Leonardo cries loudly, and that is what we should all shout.